So, how to sign social media marketing agency clients in 2021 with cold looms or cold email. So, I just want to get something straight. 2018 to 2019, literally, you can just send a cold email template with all of the generic BS and it would work stupid well, right? But in 21, the game is different now. Trying to get clients through cold email is like, it's easier to squeeze blood from a rock, right? Obviously, that's an exaggeration. But first of all, there's so many things people get wrong. Like, some people just expect still to buy a course, buy a mentorship program, and then just use the scripts and then expect to sign clients. It's not the case anymore, right? There's four main things you kind of need to do, right? You need to first of all understand what your market actually needs, like your target demographic. You need to understand what their problems are and where they actually want to be by default. And then you actually want to tailor your messaging to actually speak to what they want. Just like when you're writing ads, you're not really selling like a protein powder, you're selling the ability to have them gain muscle. You want to tailor your messaging to your target demographic. And then the third process, and this is where I see like everyone just skim out on, right? And that's the process of refining and just iterations. You need to refine your messaging. And there's actually a framework when it comes to the refining process I'm going to share with you today. So let's hop into a Loom and I'll show you exactly kind of like the different types of funnels that I use to acquire clients and exactly why it's so effective. So the email framework is really simple, right? Like traditionally, the old way of doing things in terms of funnels, like the old email funnel would just be, main email and then follow-ups, right? And then call. This doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work anymore. And the reason why, well, everyone's doing this, right? Or if you really want to get fancy, it's the one was, main plus loom and then follow-ups and then call sale. Right, there's very little in between. You'll get typically a lot of people responding to that first and second email and things like that. But nowadays it just doesn't work. You're gonna get way more unsubscribes and all this other bullcrap that comes along with it kind of thing, right? Because everyone is doing that. This method is very, very oversaturated. So how do you actually differentiate yourself from this? Well, the complexity to setting appointments now is actually a lot higher, sorry. So for example, with the new funnel, you need to make sure your main email is not only just, hey, can we get on a call? It's like you need to have pattern interrupts, right? It needs to be a pattern interrupt. So it needs to stand out from the crowd first of all, right? And then in terms of your follow-ups, it's pretty average. But now what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a lot more objections, right? So they'll be like, oh, what's your price? How does your pricing structure look like? Do you guys offer any guarantees? Do you do this? Do you do that? Do you do X, Y, Z? Everything, right? And why is that? Well, it's because guess what? These business owners, they've wasted their time already 3 or 4 times on these kinds of discovery calls. They just don't want to waste any more of your time. So they're going to give you more objections. So you need to know how to like actually handle these objections in an effective way. And then after you do that, okay, then you can book in a call, right? You book a call. And now, how do you actually get these people to show up? Well, there's actually workflows that you need to implement that can be done within Calendly. I'm just telling you all of this, and the reason I'm telling you all of this is because I just want to make you aware that you need this if you really want to get good at cold emails and if you really want to be super deadly with it, right? But it's up to you guys to actually discover how this works for yourself. So after the workflows, you're going to get people to show up, and then from there, you'll be able to close. Super, super straightforward. And then you're gonna either have a deal that you won or a deal that you lost. Now, you see the difference, right, between the higher level agencies versus the lower level ones is literally a case of just systems. And that's why I say, SMMA right now in 2021, the barrier to entry is pretty high because you not only need to know how to deliver a sick service, but you also need to know how to go about sales, especially if you want to go after conventional niches. So relative to like 2018, 2019, this is the funnel that's been working for me, not this one, right? Because this one I kind of used last year and I signed like 5 clients with it. And then this one I've used, the new one I've used not even for that long, probably since about kind of like mid-April. and I've already closed deals with it, right? And the meeting appointment rate is much higher. Let me show you what my current sales system is in terms of like how this actually works, and then I'll show you roughly how to actually implement it for yourself. So yeah, let's dive into it. So now when it comes to your actual email sequence, remember there was the main, right? How do you actually pattern interrupt? Well, to pattern interrupt, you need a good subject line, right? That stands out. If you visualize the inbox as something like this, you'll see that all of the subject lines, and just imagine like the straight lines are kind of subject lines, they all look around the same length. They're all camel cased. So what is an actual pattern interrupt? Well, it's just like the odd one of the bunch, right? So one of the easiest ways to have a pattern interrupt is just have your subject line stupid short, right? Do you see how by having your subject line really short, you instantly stand out amongst in the crowd? That's basically what a pattern interrupt is, right? Now, what do you actually do once you get the prospect to actually open the email? Well, you need to include something different in your email. Differentiating factor. Right? This could be your offer, this could be maybe you just put like some really weird image, maybe you include a meme, anything along those lines. They all work, it just depends on your niche and it depends on the kind of like style you generally like to adopt when it comes to these things. Right now I'm trying out looms a little bit, but I've also used images in the past. Lemlist has a great feature on this, and you know, it's both helped to increase the reply rate significantly. So yeah, right now I utilize two methods of appointment setting. The plain email one, which is basically I send out a plain email called Loom. The plain email is fairly self-explanatory. It's just a funnel with 4 to 6 emails. Now, I'm testing between 4 to 6 emails, but to be honest, you don't need more than 5 generally speaking, because all the subsequent emails after the first emails are pretty much just like bumps, if not just follow-ups to the original email. And this, you can optimize it to around a 2 to 5% booking rate, depending on just like how good your case study is, where your lead source is coming from, and things like that. And then I have a cold loom method where I'm personally recording looms, and then that's a 4 to 5 emails, and that gets me around a 6.7% booking rate. Why do I know it's very specific? Well, I track this one to the T because looms are quite time consuming on my behalf, so I want to make sure that all of my time is used very efficiently. So how do you actually craft your first and second emails? Well, when it comes to the email number 1, what you want to do is you essentially want to have this as the main body. So you'll need to have a few things, right? You'll need to have like intro to who you are, and then you'll need to have your offer. And then what I like to do, generally speaking, is either guarantee or include massive social proof. So your guarantee is basically how do you actually make your offer irresistible. People go about saying, oh, you need to have an irresistible offer and all this stuff, right? What actually makes an irresistible offer? Human psychology dictates that we're more afraid of losing than we are afraid of gaining. So what do you think the biggest fear and the biggest kind of like objection is for clients before they start working with any agency? Well, it's just trust, right? Like, is this guy going to lose my money? Is this guy going to be profitable? Well, you can make sure to eliminate that downside for them at least, right? If you can't guarantee results in something like Facebook ads, right? If you can't really always guarantee a 5x return on ad spend, but what you can guarantee is that, hey, look, if we lose your money, we'll completely refund you. So it's you really can't lose from working with us. And why is that so powerful? Because that basically just says, hey, look, we literally can't make money if we don't think we're gonna make you money. And if we don't make you money, we don't make money. In fact, we lose money because I have to pay team members, right? So what makes the offer actually irresistible is just hedging all of the client's potential downside whilst making the upside seem very, very like abundant and just where they want to be. Right. And then you just have a call to action. Now, I've overcomplicated this structure in the past, but generally speaking, this is basically what every good cold email should have. The idea is you should be aiming to systemize this as much as possible. And how do you actually do that? Well, to optimize this, you just need to run a ton of split tests. The way I found my kind of like winning combination when it comes to cold email was just earlier this year, I did around 7 to kind of like 15 split tests of just various funnels and things like that before I landed in the one that actually started booking me meetings. The whole point of this is, right, you need to have like the relevant workflows, right? So let's talk about the follow-up first, right? So 1, 2, email 2, 3, and 4 is basically just either bumps or it's reminders. And you could really see it as this, because if the first email is powerful enough, you don't really need any more subsequent emails to make sure the prospect engages. It's more to show, hey, look, I really want to work with you. I just wanted to show you a bit of my persistence, and it works incredibly well. Now, in terms of delay, another question I get asked is the ideal delay between the emails. You can go either two ways. Generally speaking, I do a 2 to 5 day delay. And the reason I do this is because, so between email 1 and 2, I generally do a 2-day delay, and then a 3-day delay, 4-day delay, and then 5-day delay. The reason why you want to do this is you want to just like slowly pull away from them, as well as also you want to make the commitment as low as possible for them as well. And one thing you'll notice is that after the first email, the replies are very, very short. It's generally speaking like 1 to 3 lines long. Sometimes most of the time you don't even need the 5th email. 2 to 5 day delays for all of them. Please like test this. Like I've seen people do a 10 to 14 day delay between second to last and their final email. And the reason that is most likely the reason why someone hasn't answered you is just because it's not really a good time for them at the moment. So sometimes it's worth having the last email delayed by about like 10 to 14 days. Anyways, the reason why you want to have all of your numbers and track everything and just systemize everything is because eventually you want to actually remove yourself from the client acquisition process by hiring people like VAs, right? Nobody wants to stay doing outreach forever because that's not why you started this business in the first place. But there's always going to be a part of sales that you can't outsource. You're going to have to manage it at some point, and that's the whole like beauty of running an agency, right? It's not completely hands-off. You can do a 4-hour work week, but it'll catch up to you one day, I promise. But yeah, anyways, so hope this video helped, and hope this video gave you like a understanding of how to actually systemize everything. I know I didn't quite go into extreme detail because that would take a 2-hour video, and quite frankly I just don't have the energy. But yeah, I've decided to also close my mentorship program and decided to partner with a program called Imperium Agency. I was actually a client of theirs. By the way, I'm reading a script in case you guys can't really tell. I was actually a client of theirs prior to this partnership, but they've been kind of just like helping me behind the scenes with scaling my agency. And to be honest, their program is pretty insane. It's supposed to be one of the higher ticket programs, but you know, because they're fairly new to the game, they're still kind of like exploring that aspect of it, and they price very reasonably, you know, and that's like another reason why I chose to partner with them. So their program is absolutely insane, and I'm not just saying it because I get a fat kickback. In fact, the kickback isn't even a lot, to be honest, but they actually solve the problem of appointment setting, which is very rare, right? Most courses out there, I'm not going to name any names, but if you've taken any high-tech ticket courses, you'll know that they don't really solve the problem of appointment setting once and for all. This program does. If you are curious about this program, I'll leave a link down below, and it will be a video of me and one of the co-founders, Charlie, introducing the program to you and just telling you a bit more about it. It's like, it should be a quick 2-minute video, and then from there you can either decide to book in a call with him or not. No pressure really. It's just a no obligation demo call with Charlie. So yeah, check it out. I really think this will help you guys a lot, especially if you guys have 1 to 2 clients already. Hope you liked this video, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.